Ibrahim Traore, what comes in my mind is a great warrior and a captain who will do anything for his country.
Okay.
Because even the way he has supported the agriculture in his country, very, very nice.
Very, very nice.
But even he's starting to build his country by making the country rich in food. When the country has food, it will feed itself. Given a chance, I would like to speak to him, and I would like to ask him some questions about Africa. Yes, about Africa and how to unite Africa. Like, okay, I would also like to ask him if he was planning to also unite Africa. And then I would be happy if he had said yes. What inspires me is that some of the current leaders and some of the late leaders we have been having in Africa.
Are all leaders Pan-Africans?
Not all leaders are Pan-Africans. There are great Pan-Africans who you can remember and should be meant to remember. Their work should not be undermined. Like this one, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, the great Osagia of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, and
Africans.
They were great Pan-Africans.
What makes you think that we should remember their work towards Pan-Africanism?
Because they did a lot. Gaddafi wanted to unite Africa. His Excellency Gaddafi wanted to unite Africa.
Exactly.
His Excellency, the Osagie of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah wanted to unite Africa. Exactly. His Excellency Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere of Tanzania wanted to unite Africa. So what is denying us from uniting Africa?
So they had the same objective.
The same objective. And that's why I want to become the future president of Africa. Because I even studied about this sort of Emperor Menelik. When Emperor Menelik defeated the Italians, when they were building the Uganda Railway, that's when the war was. And then now Emperor Menelik II defeated the Italians, and the Italians went. Then led by Captain Mussolini, he was the commander of the Second War. It came back for the second time, and this time on, it was the regime of Emperor Haile Selassie. So Emperor Haile Selassie, while being a young prince, he ran away. But the blacks also united, and Emperor Haile Selassie came back. The blacks united, saying that this is the only country in Africa, this is Africa's gold.
Africa is not a mistake to be fixed. Africa is not a failed continent. Africa is the womb of the world, the cradle of civilization, the keeper of tomorrow's hope.
We know that Ibrahim Traore is the future of the African continent, that he represents the African wing of the global anti-imperialist movement.
We see that he's providing health care for his people, he's putting people first, he cares about the infrastructure, he's creating systems so that people can thrive instead of being in poverty like we have here in this country.
So we are here telling people, hands off Africa. The colonialists need to mind their business.
Why is he a dictator in the mind of the American media? Well, because he cares about the people of Burkina Faso.
Let me tell you what Ibrahim Traore is doing. He has got agricultural projects. Burkina Faso is having a farming boom right now because of this great African leader. He has just made a law that any woman who has a child, her medical bills are completely eliminated. It's free to go to the doctor and have a child in Burkina Faso, in this African country, because mothers and maternal care is so important.
You speak of democracy, yet uphold a global structure where the powerful few veto the dreams of the many. We will no longer whisper in rooms where we deserve to speak with full voice.
He's not a criminal, he's just being there for his people.
And if we could just follow his example.
The forces that are trying to overthrow Ibrahim Traore are the same forces that keep Americans poor. We want a prosperous America, not one that is so focused on maintaining the global economic system that our own citizens live in poverty.
He admires Gaddafi, he admires Patrice Lumumba, he admires all the great African leaders of the past, and we're here to say that American working people should look to Ibrahim Traore as the kind of leadership we need. a builder, a constructor, someone who lifts people out of poverty, someone who stands with the new economy rising in the world of the BRICS with Russia and China.
Donald Trump, look at this man. Try to be like him. Don't be like Zelensky. Don't be a worm. Be a president like Ibrahim Traore.
New economy emerging in the world, and it's based on real wealth. What China's doing with the Belt and Road Initiative, what Russia is doing with the Eurasian Economic Union, what is happening in Latin America with Bolivarianism, with the axis of resistance. There's a whole new economy. And this fake Wall Street derivative rip-off usury economy of Wall Street in London, that economy is the past. And the only future America is going to have is joining this new economy.
Being here in the country of the upright man is a dream come true. To President Traore, the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara, President Traore, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors and our Pan-African leaders in 1963 when they created the Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa. Africa must unite. And Burkina Faso has shown us the way. They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it. So, Mr. President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They are bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number one. Mission number two, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. You, Mr. President, and the people of Burkina Faso have done it, and we have a responsibility to support you. Yes. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you.
The world have to pay attention of these leaders. The world have to pay attention of these leaders. You know, a lot has been happened to our country. A lot has happened to our African continent. until this time, if we can come here out to speak about our issues, then we are speaking when we have a hope, when we have some people whom we believe that at this time they are going at least to save Africa. They are going to save Africa from the bond that has been holding Africa over decades. At this time, maybe they have been used to deal with any of African who wake up and start to fight for the interest of the Africa. They have been there to make sure that they destroy each and every one who stand up and start to speak about the unity of Africa. But you know what? This time we have no worries. We just say Hakuna Matata. Welcome back. This is Kenyan Explorer, your presenter here, and I am here based on some people who are today giving the Africans hope that Africa is going to be united. Who are giving Africans hope that whatever we are trying to do will not be in vain. We have these people who are fighting so hard. They are ready even to die, but die fighting for the motherland. And when today you go out and speak that and convince tell people that Muammar Gaddafi was not a terrorist leader, but he was a leader who wanted the best for Africans, whose dream was just to unite Africa. Will you go out today and tell people that the Idi Amin of Uganda was not a dictator, but just a leader who wanted to unite Africa? They cannot believe you. But this is what it is, and this is the reality. So they have been cutting the trees, but they forgot to cut the roots. It is said that you can take a wild animal from the wild, but you cannot take the wild from the wild animal. So once a wild animal will remain to be a wild animal, even if you take it to in your home to raise it as a domestic animal, it will never change, and one day it will come and consume you. So this is what is happening in Africa, because the great people like Muammar Gaddafi, like Lumumba of Congo, the people like Thomas Sankara, all these people, they had good vision to Africa. They were just fighting for Africa, but because they stood with the truth, but because they stood firm and said that no to imperialists and say that no to manipulation, they could have not left to continue with the life and to continue with the mission they started with. Because you know what? During the Berlin conference, the people who went to sit in that conference in Manchester, they had only one mission, and the mission was to come and take over Africa. And they never had that. They never discussed about the contract that they are going to take Africa, maybe to take over Africa for how long. But what they believed that is that they are going to take over Africa, and they are going to take everything that is in Africa. So because they believed that time that Africans never knew the worth of everything of the things that they have in their lands. Africans, they never knew that they were sitting on the top of the best minerals and resources that is feeding the world today, that's building up the world today. They never knew about it. But because the white people were the one who discovered and they were aware of everything that was in Africa, their main agenda was to take over Africa, to control Africa, and to control the world, because everything that was needed to control the world, they are in Africa, and they were already had the vision, and they already saw what was in Africa. So when you came, and that's why those times they decided to go, and because there were several countries, the countries which came to take Africa, so that's why they come up with the idea of borders. So they discussed and believed that if they can separate Africa into borders, then each country or each the white supremacists have to take a specific segment of Africa. So they could have not come to share, and that's why each and every country of Africa has their own former colonizers. So they had a vision of taking African resources for a very long time, even I can say that forever. But since the Africans started to produce the intelligent people, since the Africans started to produce the people with vision and people with the great minds, it was not good or a celebrated issue to the eyes of our oppressors, because all they see was just a challenge, and they could have not allowed it to be challenged by Africans, because they believed that Africa was just like animal. An African was just something that never fitted in the eyes of oppressors. So that's why they during those days, any African who arise up and start to fight for the Africans and start to speak about the issue of unity, he was seen as a traitor, and he was seen as a threat to the white supremacists. And that's why all the people who started this agenda of uniting Africa at this time, all of them, we speak about them as the visionary leaders, because they were taken down easily. In that time, the white people had that good opportunity to take Africans down, because the Africans themselves never knew anything about what was really happening on the world. The Africans themselves were never ready to support, and they were installed fear in themselves. So they could have not come out to challenge the white people. So that was the problem that was consuming Africa. But at this time, you are just seeing by your own eyes how the kind of the people that Africa is producing, the kind of the great people that are coming from Africa. Ibrahim Traore came fearlessly, boldly, and face in face, told the France that, I am telling you today that you have to pack your things and go. I don't need you in my country, because I am the one in charge, and I am the one to decide what I want in my country and what I don't want in my country. So it was a hard challenge. It was the hard decision, but at the end of it, it happened, and it went through. And from that decision that he decided to take as the hard risk, the results we are seeing, the result has been exposed to the world, and today the globe and everyone in Africa and across the borders are praising the best leadership of Ibrahim Traore. Because if you have to start to speak about the best leadership in Africa, the first person you have to speak about is Ibrahim Traore. And that's why we are saying today that the world have to pay attention of the people that we are speaking about today. I've shown you several videos of that Mr. President, that young Pan-Africanist from Uganda, that's just 11 years old. Just tell me, have you ever seen or come across with such kind of a kid who really speaks with that confidence? Have you ever come across with any such kind of people, of person?
Ibrahim Traore, what comes in my mind is a great warrior and a captain who will do anything for his country.
Okay.
Because even the way he has supported the agriculture in his country, very, very nice.
Very, very nice.
But even he's starting to build his country by making the country rich in food. When the country has food, it will feed itself. Given a chance, I would like to speak to him, and I would like to ask him some questions about Africa. Yes, about Africa and how to unite Africa. Like, okay, I would also like to ask him if he was planning to also unite Africa. And then I would be happy if he had said yes.